With Dune 2020 on the horizon, just about 8 months away, all of us have been itching for a trailer. Alas, there's not a trailer in sight. Apart from a leaked image from a press conference, we have seen nothing from Legendary regarding the film. This, coupled with the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, has caused many to speculate that perhaps Denis Villeneuve's film has been postponed, like many other movies which were set to be released this year. I did some digging into this, and here's what I found. Denis Villeneuve's upcoming adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune novel is perhaps the most anticipated sci-fi adaptation of the decade. Fans, since the filming wrapped last year, have been clamoring for any specific news or teaser they could find, and everything has been pretty sparse so far. And as I said earlier, the studio's continued ghosting of the fans, as well as the fact that other big productions like Wonder Woman 1984 and Disney's Mulan and Black Widow have been postponed due to the current crisis. Since everything is under quarantine right now, and will be so for the next few months, people will most likely not be interested in visiting a theater. The production companies know this. This is the reason that many movies have been pushed back. The good news is, so far, most of the films which have been pushed back were summer movies originally scheduled for release in May, June, or July. Black Widow, for instance, was postponed from May 1st of 2020 to November 6th of 2020. Dune, for quite some time now, has been slated for release on December 18th, 2020, which is pretty far off. And also, none of the movies like Dune which were slated for release in the latter half of the year have been postponed. But of course, the pandemic is ongoing, so things could potentially change in the future considering how things go. So far, it looks as though we don't have any reason to worry about Dune 2020 being pushed back. At the very least, nothing has been confirmed. On another note, there have been a lot of naysayers. Some people are certain that the movie will be terrible and that it will fail. I've seen several videos and read tons of articles. So far, most of them are pretty shallow and miss the point in one way or another. Like this article from nationalinterest.org. Don't get your hopes up for the new Dune movie remake. Okay, I'm never gonna stop saying this. It's a readaptation, not a remake. And then the tagline says, "The disconnect between us and Dune is over technology." Interesting. I haven't really heard this one before. I won't read the whole article here, but I will link it in the description. The article basically states some basic facts about Dune, the Butlerian Jihad outlawing thinking machines, but ultimately the article comes to one conclusion, and it is summed up perfectly in its noted key point. We'll have to hope that it has terrific special effects and a music score equal to what John Williams produced for Star Wars. Wait, that totally doesn't sum up anything. Anyway, basically the point of the article is that Dune will never make a truly great science fiction movie because Dune doesn't have technology. Wow, this is the greatest thing since Noah Bertlasky's article on Paul Atreides being a mighty whitey. The article states, "Here's the big disconnect between us and Dune. Our future is inextricably intertwined with technology. Unless the screenwriters can figure out how to bridge that divide, Dune will be no more relatable than the dragons in Game of Thrones. In the real world, how we handle technology could dramatically impact the course of great power competition. If those challenges are woven into the film, it might well provoke some serious thinking about our future, making the movie truly great science fiction. Otherwise, we'll have to hope it has terrific special effects and a music score equal to what John Williams produced for Star Wars. Lacking that, Dune is destined to be another crashing bore because the actual characters in the story are not very likable or relatable." Well, there is a bit to unpack here. First of all, I agree that the future of humanity is in fact inextricably tied to the future of technology. That being said, Dune in no way depicts a future devoid or separate from technology. The technology in Dune is simply not based on computers. The Tleilaxu, for instance, were known for the manufacture of various forms of biological technology. And then there is, of course, the Spacing Guild, who use the Holtzman engine guided by human mutants to navigate through space. Dune is about the future of humans and technology, just not the generic one that you expect. As to the next point, In the real world, how we handle technology could dramatically impact the course of great power competition. That is certainly a part of Dune. The fact that the Guild, through their technology, maintain a monopoly on space travel is just one of the many key ways in which technology impacts the balance of power within the Dune Imperium. And the same is true with the great houses of the Landsraad. They use assassination technology such as hunter-seekers, as well as shields, lasguns, and many other examples, including weapons of mass destruction. And then the article goes on to say, in quite a disrespectful, jabbing way I think, considering the talent and the passion behind this Dune film project, that Dune will only be watchable if John Williams produces another amazing score like he did for Star Wars. Otherwise, Dune will be a giant bore. Okay, I see what's going on here. James J. Carafano just has an irrational hate for Dune. This isn't even the first article he's done hating on Dune. Look at this one just back on March 7th. Why the new Dune movie could be a disaster. But who really cares about what this guy thinks? He's often wrong. So let's just take everything this guy says with a grain of salt, especially considering the fact that he didn't even realize that in Dune, humanity getting rid of thinking machines doesn't mean that they got rid of all technology. We've got to learn to think outside of the box. Computing technology is not all there is, and this is one of the many things that Dune shows us. Dune won't resonate with audience by trying to be like everything else, by trying to be like Star Wars or any other science fiction movie. Dune will capture audiences by being different, by showing them things they haven't really seen before. I think it's quite shallow and also quite dismissive of the audience to say that if Dune does not portray humankind's relationship with technology in a specific way, that it will fail. David Lynch's Dune was a box office failure at the time, but developed into a cult classic. But it also had almost none of the key themes present in Frank Herbert's work. The sci-fi miniseries which covered the book Dune, Dune Messiah, and Children of Dune were much closer to the Dune books and were giant hits for the Sci-Fi Network at the time, breaking all of their records. And the Dune books themselves have continued to sell throughout the years. The original novel is often cited as the best-selling science fiction novel of all time. So can we please once and for all put to rest this idea that Dune can't sell? It has sold and will sell. And as I have said before many times, we could not have asked for a better production team, led by Denis Villeneuve, one of the best directors of this past decade, and certainly the best science fiction director. Like the rest of you, I am hoping for a trailer soon. The movie is slated for release at the end of the year, so it does seem like we are right on the precipice of at least a teaser. Obviously, the producers of the film want to wait until the most strategically opportune time. In the meantime, I'm working on the final episode of Ultimate Guide to Dune. I've had to delay it. It's a pretty big production. I've moved across the country and things have been pretty frantic right now, but things are just now starting to return to normal. Thanks so much for watching. For more videos about Dune, check out the playlist on my channel. And if you want to support this channel, click on the Patreon link in the description.